Among the things I recommend to do to regulate your nervous system is spend more time in nature. Nature has a very, very common effect on your nervous system. If you feel stressed in nature, you really, really need it. And there's a lot of things you can do in nature, and I'm not really sure which one suits you the best. But personally, I like horses. Horses are fantastic animals, right? They have so much personality. They're majestic. I mean, they're just. And dogs. I like dogs and cats, and I find that cats are a little bit more, they are more solitary, but dogs are more companionship. I'm not saying that cats are not companionship, but it's a different kind of companionship, you know? And what else? I can recommend some of the tricks they actually recommend for PTSD patients is to trigger your smells, to trigger your flavors, to basically cook food, for an example. And the reason why I know this is because I used to see someone that worked in the U.S. military at one time in life, right? And this was during the time when I felt I needed to find out more about my own reactions to things, right? So I asked her straight up what they do to treat PTSD, and one of them is to, well, to stimulate your senses, right? To get your brain to connect with other things than the stressful moment you have experienced. So I was thinking, anything that helps is a go, right? I mean, why not try it? And I love cooking food, so I recommend that. You can pick your own fruits and berries in Sweden. I'm not sure if that's possible anywhere, but here you can do it anywhere you want, and it is one of the perks of living in this country. Actually, the one of the real perks. I like that. I like fishing. I'm not. Don't get me wrong here, because I love big city life. But when it comes to regulating your nervous system, total chaos is not recommended. To be honest, I mean, I have no problem with big cities. I lived in Mexico City for a while, and that is an insanely busy city, right? So, spending 10 months traveling in Mexico and not knowing any Spanish from start, right? Yeah, that was plunging myself into a sea of, well, to call it triggers would be wrong, but a sea of input. That would be a sea of input, but I'm sure there's a better word for it. Keep in mind, my second language is English, and well, Swedish is quite different. So, uh, well, anyway, back to the recommendations for actually regulating your nervous system. Well, what else is there? I hit the gym, like I mentioned before, and to me, the gym is total release of anything but the exercise, right? I focus on the exercise when I get there. I almost get tunnel vision. People get a little bit weird about it because they think I'm there to socialize, and they get a little bit, butthurt if I focus on my thing and not them, right? But you need to be okay with that in order to relax. You need to be okay with other people not liking what you do. They It's not your job to make other people comfortable with your choices in life. And what else? I like creating. I absolutely love creating. I've done that since I was a little kid, right? And that's a part of the reconnection with the creating that I used to do. And I've done it most of my life since I've been in construction, right? I've at least to a certain extent been creating all along. Nowadays it's more of a matter of mass production, and it's not as creative as it used to be. And well, I think that is one of the reasons why I don't want to be in it anymore. But anyway, back to the creating part. I have picked up the habit of growing things again, and it's not really that important that you get everything right and that everything works out the first time around. It's not about that. It's about going into a state of mind where you have patience, where you have long-term goals, where you tend to your plants, where you find a connection to the calm in creating. Because when you go into a creative state, you disconnect the noise, right? That is where you find, or at least where I find, a huge chunk of my regulating possibilities, right? And well, it is a bonus that I'm good at it as well, of course, right? I mean, there's no denying. I know I am. And well, the way I see it and what I can recommend is that if you only aim to be better today than you were tomorrow when it comes to anything, never compare yourself to other people. Raise yourself. Because if you raise yourself, you never get discouraged. You will never find yourself in a place where other people's achievements make you lose your own grit, right? And if you are better today than you were yesterday, and you're better every day for a year, imagine the development. Imagine where you will be at. You will be in a place that exceeds a lot of other people just by being consistent with a little bit every day, right? Patience with yourself. Show patience with yourself. Another thing I want to say is that never discredit your nervous system. The body's a fantastic organism, right? It is highly complicated, and it's developed a system where it actually tells you what is wrong when you're sick, when you're stressed, when you're having trouble sleeping. It gives you clues. Try to listen to it, because the same thing goes for your nervous system around the wrong people. It will tell you if you get stressed, if you get anxiety, or if you get any kind of reaction, I guess you might say, to a person's behavior or their mere presence, right? Listen to your body. Now, I'm not saying that this person is actually bad for you, but if your nervous system says no, it means no. It means no for a reason. You don't have to justify that to anyone. The moment you stop explaining and justifying your choices in life, I promise you, things will get better. That's a wrap for today. All right. Later, guys.